Hello YouTubers, welcome to today's YieldLabs YouTube video. Please consider subscribing to our channel, hit the like button if you enjoy our content, and last but not least, don't forget that you can hit the bell icon to get notified when we release new videos for the latest and greatest crypto yield generation content.
Okay, this is really nice. We've got a second guest for Meet the Community in YieldLabs. So thank you, Tiago, for taking the time today. You're somebody I kind of watched doing something similar to me in terms of community building and outreach, and you're confident on the camera. So I'm sure this is going to be a great discussion. So thank you for taking the time today.
No, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here and to interact with someone so knowledgeable in crypto like yourself, right?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, likewise as well. So yeah, maybe everyone knows me from the audience, and if you don't, you can check out in the bio, in the description, I'll put the links to the various social profiles and stuff. But I'm Kevin. I'm the founder of YieldLabs. So let's jump onto the guest and hear what you've got to say in terms of like, can we just give us a quick introduction to kind of like who you are, where you live, and how you got into crypto?
Yeah, of course, of course. So my name is Tiago. I'm from the sunny country of Portugal. Okay, where we have the best food and the best beaches all around the country. So I'm one of the co-founders of Yield Hub, which is basically a community-run project where we discuss multiple things around Yield Lab. We kind of dropped a bit from now, mostly because of lack of time and a bit of personal problems between some of our co-founders. Yeah, I've been involved with crypto. Actually, maybe involved is not the right word. I've been knowledgeable about crypto for a very long time, but I only got involved for maybe around a year, 2 years, something like that. Because that's when I started to look around the passive income and basically see how you could make your money work for you and basically increase your literacy, financial literacy around all of these subjects. And crypto seemed like it's actually is one of the best places to start. So yeah, I'm not. Maybe I show around as really very knowledgeable around crypto, but yeah, I'm basically like Jem says, I'm a pleb and a new regarding these types of stuff, and I'm probably the guy who watches most of those tutorials around the Terra and the things you've been launching.
I watch them as well, so don't worry.
No, it's normal because there's so many things working around and coming up. It's really hard to keep up with everything that's going in. And maybe I want to also take this time to thank you for what you're doing, because it's kind of hard to actually pinpoint what's the best thing to go and what's the best projects out there and what can you actually do and where should you diversify. So yeah, big props to you guys for doing all of that there.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, we do have a decent group, so we really try and just like almost like filter a lot of the stuff. We filter it between us, and then just like as soon as we find it, we really want to like sometimes just like I'll just press the button, click like I'm in whatever, and then just because I've just found it or whatever, and then we just literally just putting it as live as we're finding things and doing our analysis. We're trying to drop in these in the Telegram group, so hopefully people find them useful. We want to give like everybody time to just invest at the same time that we're investing. It's none of this is like financial advice that we do or anything, but it's just kind of just like filtering knowledge. We all work together, then hopefully the community will like start coming back with things for us too, and then it just creates like a nice ecosystem. So it's really cool. Like I wanted to reach out to you. Like we've never spoke before, but I kind of watched you on like what you were building with the Yield Hub, and I think like I've done quite a lot of community work, and it's very difficult to kind of bring people together, get people on to speak, kind of identify the people who want to speak and have some value, and filter the rest. So yeah, I liked what you were doing over there, and it was really cool because it was such in a startup phase. Like, how did you get involved with the Yield Hub? Was it just some idea you had, or did the company support you, or how did that start?
Actually, they kind of proposed it to me because I got involved with YieldLab like almost as soon as they launched on Trust Swap. And I was hanging out on their Telegram channels, on talking to the team, trying to pick the Tim Frost's brain, the CEO, Justin also, and Jan Strandberg's brain also, and try to talk to them and see, basically get a feel for what you want to do. You're here to make a quick buck, or are you here to last? So those types of gut feelings, because when you're investing in such another project, the only thing that you have is like, those are the faces, but it's the first time you're seeing those faces. It tells you a zero, right? So you're going to have to go through your gut and try to see, okay, how can these guys make me money, and how can I help them make money, right? So yeah, I got involved with them and tried to like talk to them, see what they could do, and basically one thing led to another, because I was always very active on the Telegram, on the main Telegram groups, and they talked to me and said, hey, you really like, do you want to be involved in any kind of way? And I told them, yeah, but not in a professional way. I don't mind helping, right? I don't mind using my own time to help you out. And they suggested, why don't you like produce content or something like that? That's our main gap right now, right? Because we're focused on building, we're not focused on marketing or sending stuff out so people can know about us. So why don't you focus on that part? And that's basically how YieldLab came to be, right? We wanted to like be a platform that could be let's call it separated or segregated from the main YieldLab content that they would release to basically get an outside view of the company, the team, the new news coming around, and basically try to help what YieldLab is trying to do, which is like bringing DeFi to people who don't know anything about DeFi, don't even know what DeFi means, right? And just looking to help them out. And that was what we wanted to do, take a different approach and trying to build a bit a community around people who wanted to learn how Yield made money, right? Because if I'm talking to you, I'm going to like, yeah, so Yield makes money by DeFi, then yeah, you can understand a bit. Maybe they use Curve, maybe they use Yearn, maybe they use Aave, maybe they use sorts of things. But if I go to my mother or my girlfriend and say, hey, Yield uses DeFi, and they go like, what? So it's like a Ponzi. They take my money and they disappear. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to bridge the gap between someone who has been here for a couple of times and has interacted, has MetaMask, has swapped via Uniswap, has whatever, and someone who is used to having money in the bank, right? What we wanted to do is like help them bridge that gap, so that you could achieve this literacy within a small time, right? And being a community project, it makes us stand out, because yeah, we're not biased. If Yield comes out and does something that we didn't like, for example, a bit like you are doing, we had the power to say, hey, there are a bit of other options, like the things that one of the videos that we launched, which was where could you get the best yields, which we compared Celsius, Nexo, we compared Swissborg, we compared Yield, right? And of course there are, for example, if you had Matic or something like that, yeah, you can get yield. So you can gain yield on yield. So we suggested, for example, hey, look at Celsius, look at the other option, look at staking, for example. And it's like it gives us a bit of the power to actually advise the community on what are the best options. And of course that brings us right? Because when you're starting to build something from scratch, which is a bit supported on the whole YieldLab brand, you basically get a bit of biased opinions who are always asking, so when does my token go up to $3 and sell? And it's kind of hard to teach the principle that yeah, it's like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is $3 or is $30,000, you don't care. The important thing is that you're gaining yield on your Bitcoin, no matter what the value. And I think that's one of the main goals that we wanted to achieve, to help bridge this gap, which undoubtedly came with a lot of challenges, but it was fun.
I think you did really good. And I think, like, I don't know, like I'd never spoke to you, but I could kind of tell that it was kind of like a community initiative that was like, kind of like working with Yield app. So there's a lot of yields in this conversation. Like, so YieldLabs is kind of this channel, obviously, and then Yield.app is kind of a company which we're not affiliated with, which we're kind of working with. Tiago is working with. Yeah. So and then Yield Hub was your project. So yeah, and I could tell that it was kind of just cloudy there for the audience. Like this is I could tell that it was kind of like a community effort, and it had that like authenticity about it, rather than just like polished, trying to push messages and stuff. And I could kind of see what you were trying to do with that. And like you say, it has tailed off a bit, and I was just kind of like, oh, where the video's gone. I like watching them and stuff, and they were very well made. So hopefully that picks back up, and we can highlight that to our community too, and people can go and try and find it. So yeah, I think it was great, and there was some nice speakers on there. You had the lady on there as well. So yeah, it was good. I think you should be proud of this project, and hopefully it can keep going and just pick up. So what do you think like about the future for Yield App in terms of like what they're building? Like what's your current like opinion? And also the last thing, I like it that it was kind of, you have that unbiased thing too. That's kind of what we want to do. Like everything's good until it's not good, and humans are running these companies, like, so eventually some of them are going to do things that we don't like, or eventually rates are going to come down. This is inevitable. So yeah, so what do you think about the future of Yield App, and what are you excited about, kind of what they're building over there?
Yeah, so basically, if you hang out around the Telegram channels, you have most of the people asking, so when does the V2 version come out, or why is the token going down? Why hasn't it boomed like any other crypto that I have in my portfolio? I'm losing a lot of money, and it's normal, because people still have those types of mentalities. Hey, I'm going to buy low, I'm going to sell high, then I'm going to wait to drop and then buy low again and sell high, and keep that mentality, right? So basically, to give you a bit of a bird's eye view. So I think the future is actually kind of bright, because they're tapping into a market where you also have a lot of competitors, right? But the main difference is they're not striving for being the highest rates, or being having the most tokens there, or launching, if the community wants the token A, they launch it right ahead just to get that person or that community to on board. No, they're doing things the right way. They're researching, what can we do? Okay, we can get this, we can get sustainable this way, this is secure, we don't know, we haven't tested it, so we're going to push it aside. So they're actually focused on the bigger things, and trying to be a long-term company and a long-run company. Because every time I talk to Tim or talk to Justin, and it's nice that I have that exposure to both of them, and the whole team actually. And you could talk to them, and we're saying, like, yeah, but we're not thinking 2 or 3 years in the future. We're thinking 10 or 20 years in the future, right? Because it's not a one-time thing. Sure, 6 months in crypto it is a lifetime, and it is. In 2 or 3 years in crypto is an eon of time here. But the thing is, they are focused not only on the short term, but on the long term. That's why I'm a bit bullish. And of course, differently from most people, I have that exposure and that possibility to learn a bit of things before they come out, which can make me a bit more bullish than other people who maybe saw the BTC funds and fiat rails come out, and it was like the only thing that they saw. But no, that they're building a lot of things from the back, and that takes time. And me being a software engineer myself, I know that building software takes time, and estimates always go wrong, whether you like it or not. If you estimate 1 month in software engineering, forget it. You're going to take 2 or 3 months, because Murphy's law, what can go wrong will go wrong, right? And it's just important to keep basically not keep your patience, but keep your goals aligned. Because if you're looking for short-term games or something like that, maybe you wouldn't focus on CeFi. Maybe you would explore DeFi protocols which had like 1,000% APY or something like that, so you could cash out your investment rapidly or something like that. Because these are types of companies, Celsius, Swissborg, Nexo, Yield. Those are types of companies that are focused on the long-term goals, right? Those are types of companies that focus on bringing the yield throughout multiple years. And the rates can go up and the rates can go down. Sure, it's okay. It's what people expect, right? But the same thing when you put go to Pancake Swap or Sushi Swap and you stake them on those protocols, the rates go up and down, right? The only difference is you don't have a Telegram channel to go there and scream, why is my sushi token going down or something like that, right? So yeah, and to summarize, I think it's very bullish, and I think that most of the things that are going to introduce, since they're battling on a lot of fronts, we're talking about different chains integration, for example, looking at Binance Smart Chain, for example, looking how they can explore their partnership with Avalanche, for example, the different tokens that are maybe going out, different currency pegged stable coins, so euros and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to see what they are pursuing and to see what comes out first. And it's only a matter of building it in a sustainable way, right?
Yeah, I think they've taken a very methodical approach. Like you know more than me about it, but I kind of done my due diligence, and I think it's very methodical. I think it's very reasonable and rational, the kind of way that they're saying, okay, let's do this. You know, they could have promised a lot more by now and under delivered just because they don't have the time to build it, and they've only got whatever 40 people or 50 people or whatever they got. I don't know, probably 100 now. Like it's the way that things are growing, but it's yeah, I like the kind of the team. It's not like you don't get the like Alex Mashinsky effect of the theater and the drama and all of this kind of stuff, but it's kind of it's an option, it's a viable option. And why not discuss viable options? You know, I received a lot of backlash when I started talking about different options, well, I can't talk about anything else apart from Celsius and different stuff, but we have to look at this as a category and as a proper approach and talk about different things, and be brave and be the ones that, will look at something else. And the thing is, even if these things fail, and I'm not saying any of it's going to fail, but it's really good to look at it and watch why it failed, right? And let's see why. Let's not just laugh at it as it goes down. Let's say, okay, well, that was the mistake. Let's make sure these mistakes don't happen on the next one. Oh, if we see this behavior or this type of activity or this mistake happening again, then we can say, whoa, like try and hold these and help these companies rather than just all choosing one and just choosing a coin and sitting there and just saying this is the best coin, it's just going to go up. It's just a stupid approach and it's very immature. And we're really starting to see who's mature and who's immature in terms of like knowledge and experience in this market, which is cool. But like everybody has a choice, everybody can choose a platform, and they have their own thing. So we just provide information. If people want to go there, left or right, it's all good. So yeah, I like that perspective, and it aligns. And I think they've got a reasonable roadmap of like quite. I say like kind of quick wins, I call them, whereas the V2, the mobile app, and I think the tokens risk reward at these levels is like, you can't, what can it drop to 10 cents, 15 cents? That's not the end of the world where other things can drop, significantly more. So I kind of think yielding in that token, it just makes sense if you can do that. And the fact that you can't even like access some of these other services anymore in certain countries, and you can't access this one, people, we can't just say to anyone from the UK, oh yeah, you can't use, because you can't use this, don't use nothing else. We have to, let's just be realistic. People need access to these products, and some of these products are available in some places and not others. Some of them, like Nexo, is, they just don't care about the rules too much and they just open it everywhere. So like we have to be careful with that too, right? So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
So what are you like? Yeah, we have the V2 coming out and this different stuff, and this will be exciting, a nice refresh. We won't have to keep pressing claim all the time on the dashboard, which is annoying, but that'll be it is kind of a beta product, really. That's kind of where I look at it, and it will be nice when the additional functionality comes.
Yeah, but just building on the thoughts that you were saying, because of the backlash, what most people don't realize and have that tribal approach, right, where my tribe wins and your tribe has to lose for me to sleep comfortable at night, and that's one of the things that you can actually see throughout many of the projects. And the thing most people don't realize is everyone who's invested in Celsius and Swissborg and Yield and wherever, we're all going to the same road, right? We're all going to the same direction. We're just in different buses, right? That's just the difference. a couple of buses are farther away than others, but we're going to the same path. And it's not because my bus is going to fail that yours is going to run faster, right? And this is some of the things that people don't understand. It's like, yeah, because maybe in some periods of time, my bus will run faster than yours, and maybe in other periods, your bus will run faster than mine. But we're all going to the same path. And basically those tribal approaches of like mine is the only one that's better and yours sucks for this and that reason, or it only sucks because it's not like mine, it really doesn't bring like a lot of benefits. So yeah, once again, props for what you're doing, because bringing exposure to different projects, and not only yield, right, even the Terra ecosystem, which I personally hadn't researched and hadn't invested yet, brought me a lot of different options for diversity, right? Because it's like Warren Buffett says, concentration builds wealth, but diversification grows that wealth, or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's it. And it's basically like, a lot of people are going to do what they want to do. They're going to speculate, and then if they do hit these home runs, which a lot of people probably will, then they need to kind of understand what to do with that money. So let's say somebody turns 10,000 into 500,000. This has been done many times. Or 200,000 or whatever the number. They need to know what to do with 500,000. You can't just keep applying the same strategy. So we're just trying to teach people, even if you don't have to kind of do this kind of strategy now, but here's like a way to manage, you could to think about this category, if you like, and to think about crypto, and it's a mythology. And if you want to kind of use this one day down the road when you generate through speculating, then that's okay too. So it's basically just trying to do things differently, trying to do things better in terms of like risk management, professionalism, just kind of approach, and kind of maximizing these opportunities rather than just gambling, which is a lot of people want to do on just crazy coins, and just really wasting an opportunity of a lifetime to kind of do something really cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's yeah, and like you're saying about the buses, like some of the buses are luxury, some of them are bigger, some of them have more seats and stuff. So we have to acknowledge all these things. Some of them were older and they're first, but it's there has to be other options, and I think yeah, we'll get there in the end. And it's let's try and build fun communities and like share knowledge and look around and hold each other accountable. And I think I think the most important thing is like, kind of from my perspective, is like being holding allegiance to your own portfolio and to your family and to kind of like your network, not like holding like, saying this is the best company, I have to be with this company, I owe this company money because they made me money. That I just don't, that's just ridiculous. People, they just need to, your portfolio is what you should be loyal to. You should not be loyal to companies that are going to change, get sold. One day Tim Frost won't be there, one day Alex won't be there, and what happens, who knows? None of us have any control. So what we have control over is just kind of like looking at the truth, looking at
where we put our money, right?
Yeah, where we put our money, how we act. And I think loyalty is, if you use the platform, I think you're loyal. Like you don't have to use with everything, you don't get any bonus points of Alex saying, hi, yeah, well done, you used all your money, I'm going to give you a pat on the back. Like, come on. Like, let's be sensible and let's think about what we're saying. So, the fact that you're giving your assets to someone is a massive loyalty in the first place. So, they're not doing it for free. All these, we know that it's kind of, fairer models and it's that, but let's be honest about kind of what's going on. The people who get paid salaries, we don't know what the salaries are, and these types of things. So that's all good. People are allowed to get paid. They pay themselves bonuses, but if we, it's not fully transparent as a kind of a DeFi offering as well. So use them, it's all great, but let's also talk about the truth and not just the smoke and mirrors like what most of the time. So that's just kind of my perspective and my rant, but like that's just how I see it. And I think in future we'll start to see some of these companies will get corrupted, or features taken away, or over-regulated, or there's going to be changes in this environment as things go on. So we have to acknowledge that now, otherwise you just deluded and you're going to be very disappointed in the future. So I think if we use them all in a risk managed approach, maximize timings on kind of when things are, the risk reward is right and wrong, I think we can't go wrong. So that's just how I see it. And
I agree with your point of view. I really do. So like
what about what anything else in crypto you're kind of excited about? I guess you mentioned Terra and different stuff, but what else apart from
Yeah,
kind of yielding opportunities?
Yeah, I'm actually exploring some bigger risk options, bigger risk reward options related to blockchain gaming. So we're talking about Axie, we're talking about different types of stuff. I think there's an early buzz that's about to start rolling with blockchain gaming, and the whole play to earn model. I think it's really cool, right? Because it's nothing like CeFi or DeFi options where you can basically get yield on it. No, basically you have to invest your time. You're trading your time for your money finally, while also having fun while doing it, which I think it's really nice. For example, with you have the whole option with Axie, where you have people from Chile and from the Philippines who can quit their jobs and can sustain their families by playing, right? So why would you work when you can just gain your salaries while playing? And I think that's really cool. And what blockchain brings to the table in regards to this aspect is like phenomenal, right? Because they're introducing something that was meant for us to, let's call it, waste time or spend time, wherever you want to put it, but turning it into something you're investing your time, right? And it's, if you think about it, it's the people going to crypto to get back the only asset that they can't invest, which is time, right? People want to get rich. Why? Because they want more time. This is the way to maximize all of your investments, your money, your time, everything, right? So I think there's a couple of projects which I'm a bit bullish at, and I'm exploring a couple of returns which are kind of decent, substantially decent, depending on where you live. And I think there's a couple of opportunities to gain a bit of yield, even passive income yield, right? For example, Axie, you have the scholarships where there are people who play with your teams, and you basically split the gains between the scholar, the person who pays, and you, the person who lent out the team, and stuff like that, which are really interesting if you're looking at something which diversifies your portfolio. Because if then DeFi goes all regulated, and that legislation from Europe passes, which all wallets have to be KYC, and then you have MetaMask with KYC and all DeFi protocols with KYC. It's like, there are, of course, we want to keep up with the law, but there are some laws which are impossible to keep up, right? There's no way. It's like every time you want to buy a soap, you need to put your name. It's not viable, right? But if something happens, and like you were saying, some of the companies get regulated, you got to diversify. And one of the things that I've been following, for example, from the financier, which is also one guy that I really like to talk to, is he started diversifying into real estate, but tokenized real estate through something, I think it's called Real.co or something.
Yeah, I've
like
seen
that.
him. I've seen his posts. Yeah. I've chatted to him a little bit over the years, just like a few tweets and forwards back and forth. My brothers talked to him as well. So yeah, he's at one of the early channels, especially doing like the Celsius stuff, and it's really cool. So yeah, we'll tag him in this video. He can listen in. So I don't know who he is. I never met him, never seen his face, but hello, financier.
No, me neither. I used to talk to him when I was more involved with Celsius, but actually lost touch with him a while back. But I've been following his posts, and it's kind of interesting because he's actually thinking the same approach that you're doing, which is diversifying into different protocols and not even to the same areas, right? Because the most important thing is that you're comfortable with what you're managing, what your portfolio is exposed to. It's like stock options when you buy exchange traded funds or something like that, right? You target wealthy countries, you target emerging countries, you target renewable energies. You want to expose yourself to the most things possible, because if one of them fails, the others will push them up.
And it's an expression, right? It's an expression, right? The portfolio is an expression of kind of like how you see the market. So if you just see the market in a one-dimensional, I'll hold one thing, like that's a really or there's more than one, right? Like even if you've not found the one that you, the second one you like, maybe if you're lucky you'll find something. So yeah, like it's an expression, and you kind of express it through the gaming element, and that gamification is kind of really cool. I kind of see that one on Star Terra. That's a gamified kind of same sort of thing. And is it Axie Infinity? Is that what it's called? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Was this on Back to the Future like a long time ago?
Maybe in 2018, I think.
Maybe a while ago. Maybe I've got the wrong one. But anyway, like I've seen Axie. I don't really know. I've never played it or tried it. But yeah, this gamification of kind of these things with blockchain technology in the back, it's really cool, right? Where you get paid to play.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be huge, and the whole like metaverse thing and everything as well is going to be like all this stuff is going to be some crazy potential for kind of yielding opportunities, and you'll be able to like yield on your land and like rent these things out, rent people chairs and tables out. Like it's going to be like really crazy, right, in the future. So I think if we're all plugged in, and like he's, like you said, the financier, he's looking at that like real estate play, where it's kind of like selling real estate on the blockchain or whatever, that's, or renting it on the in that way. I saw a couple of his posts. I didn't dive into it because you just can't look at everything, but like that was really cool. Like and the fact that he's experimenting with that. So yeah, if he wants to talk about it, we can talk about it sometime. If he wants to come on the stream, that would be really cool. So yeah, there's just so much to do, and it's like I didn't realize you were a software engineer. So like you have that kind of technical expertise, and that's why you're calling more into this type of gaming environment, because you kind of really understand them. Where people like I haven't played computer games for a long time, so even though I really like playing them, like I just don't want to start because I'll just never stop. Like I used to game a lot, so I just don't want to go back to that life.
I know how you feel.
This is a game that I'm just playing now, like the money game instead. So at least I get something out of it, But you can like play and get the money, like you said. So you get both. So no one's ever going to come off the computer.
It's no. I actually, if you talk to me about so what's like Setsi about, how do you play it? I have really no idea. I really don't have no idea, because it's like I took an investment approach to the game itself, right? People are talking to me, hey, we have a couple of guys who want to play. We just need the money to buy the teams. And like, okay, yeah, sure. Here's the money, buy the teams. Just deposit into my account every 2 weeks or something like that, right? It is nice because from one perspective, there are people who are playing in who are earning. From my perspective, it's like, I have another revenue stream, right? It's like Celsius. Basically, we're diversifying into our revenue streams. We don't want to put all our money in Celsius and in yield and whatever. Certainly not in Exo, but you don't want to put all your money on the same place. You want to basically get yield from different types of places. This is one of them, basically.
Yeah, it's super exciting. So I need to really get into this thing a bit more. Yeah, we need to, like, we could do another conversation maybe on this stuff and like really dive into these things, because I've got a lot to learn on this stuff, but I see the potential is huge, right? Like just on this whole, and I think like you really need like a different kind of brain to kind of rationalize it. And I think if you're younger, you can really rationalize it really easily as well. Whereas I think like people who are kind of late millennials and older, they really struggle to kind of like say, oh, what's the point in this? It's just a game. I can't see how this would be any good. But they're really not seeing the bigger picture. Like whole esports thing is crazy, right? Whereas like more people watching the sport and playing it on a computer than actually doing the sport in terms of these tournaments and stuff. Like it's absolutely, I couldn't believe it when I saw this stuff. Like I was like, how can there be that many people watching these esports finals? Like that's not even, those numbers can't be real. Like that's just crazy. So yeah, it's really exciting in the future. And I think this conversation was really nice as well. Like I really enjoyed like just talking to you a bit more, and I think we've got a lot in common, and kind of I really like a lot of your work. I think you're on a good path. Would you ever want to like work in crypto full time, or do you want to stay in software?
Well, to be honest, my goal is to retire this year, right? So I turned 27 this year, and my goal is at the end of the year to just stop working and like I want to buy a house with a pool and just like stay in the grass and just like don't do anything for the rest of my life. No, basically, I want to. It's like what I was saying. Everyone who invests in crypto is trying to maintain their biggest asset, which is time. The only asset which you can get back, right? I think I'm near that point, which can maybe get me the time to explore new other projects, because I really like them. I really like doing that deep dive and doing my research on all the types of projects, because even if I don't invest, then I'm learning what's coming around, right? Projects like Deep or Noronha, that are coming around with insurance and those types of stuff, or projects like I sent to a friend of mine regarding using blockchain for KYC and AML and stuff like that. Really, really interesting things that are coming around. And don't get me wrong, I like what I do. I really like what I do, but I like doing what I like to do on my own time, and not having to do it like 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 or something like
That's
that.
it.
Right?
Sometimes it's
a
just
whole
having
different
the authority to say, okay, I'm going to do it. Even if you're doing the same thing, it's just saying, well, I decide to do it, and like somebody isn't telling me to do it. Sometimes, like I work probably more now than I worked even when I have my corporate job. To be honest, I do, but like I actually enjoy it, and I know that the work's valuable, and I know even though I don't get that much feedback, I know that people like actually watch it and enjoy it. So someone somewhere is, you know, and now and again, people kind of call me or whatever and say, oh, thanks, you made me this, and you helped me with this, and you helped my family. So, you know, I know for every one that calls is like another 15, 20 behind that didn't call, that just enjoying it. So like, I know that makes me feel like, okay, it's worthwhile. At least I'm not destroying the planet or doing anything crazy. You know, I'm doing something meaningful. So it's about that, like you say, just finding the time to do your own thing. And like you live in, you're in Portugal, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like crazy expensive there, so you don't even need like mega passive, and then you can just be, like you say, just enjoy the time and just have a nice life, and then do the things you want to do and invest, and you know, just see these technologies. And you're super young, so you got like, you'll change as well, probably like at least 1 more 2 more versions of yourself before you kind of sell. So you're going to be doing something totally different. But I think this is a really cool conversation. So thanks for taking the time. Where can people like find you if they want to find your work, or you're kind of, obviously you're in our community, so you see Tiago is your name, and then that's in our group. And where else can they find you?
Maybe on Twitter would be the one of the Telegram is really the easiest way to reach out. Twitter is more when I like to promote stuff that I see, like projects that I follow or projects that I'm invested in are going to in my opinion be disruptive in any kind of way, or just make money for some reason. But maybe Telegram and Twitter would be the best accounts. And if you want to see a bit about YieldHub, we still have our videos on YouTube. So just search for YieldHub and you'll find our videos. We have a couple of tutorials and a couple of other types of videos for comparisons and stuff like that. You can also see those there.
Yeah, they're very polished videos. I watched them back in the day. So like, hopefully that project goes back alive again, or somebody else can do it if you don't want to do it, or like whatever. It's a shame. Just pick up the work, let somebody, whatever, it'll find its way. So I think the future is bright for everybody in this space. So thank you for the time. I think we'll leave it there, and now we can do some more content soon. And thanks for being part of our community and adding value. I see you're very active, posting and commenting. So that's kind of just what we ask from the community, that they can kind of just share things, tweet, like, and just kind of interact. That's all we really ask for. We're not charging for our content. So thank you for doing all that for us.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you're doing, and for all the research that you're doing on behalf of us, and all the DD that you're doing on behalf of us. It really helps out.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
That is a wrap on today's video, guys. Thank you to Tiago for being the second guest on YieldLabs Meet the Community. Don't forget that you can hop on over to Twitter and follow us at YieldLabs for updates and more.